What is up, everybody? Welcome to the video. I'm happy for you guys to join me today, and as you can see, I'm joined with my special guest, Joey Benoit. I don't know how to say your last name. Maybe you could tell people.
Bonet.
Bonet. Okay, sorry
Yeah.
about that, Joey. Uh,
Typical French fashion, right? It has way too many letters.
yes, typical French fashion from someone living in Wisconsin. Are your ancestors French?
I'm living in Poland now, but
No, that's right. That's right. But you're originally from Wisconsin.
yeah.
Joey is our lead game designer at Simteract and for Train Life. And Joey, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, what your role is in the production of Train Life?
And the creative lead of Train Life at this point too.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
but
My bad, my
it,
bad.
it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll punish you later, of course. So, do you want me to say something about myself first, or about the game first?
Give a little bit of of insight about yourself. Be brief. Be brief, Joey. Just be brief. Okay. We all know
I
you
have
like
so many
runes.
things to say
We
about
all know
myself.
you like RuneScape, okay?
Okay, yeah,
But
that's enough.
yeah, a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your role in the production of Train Life.
Yeah, I love design. I love games, and most importantly, I like connecting the community with the developers on a one-to-one basis. Just getting rid of that middleman and making sure that there's enough transparency for players to understand. Um, as the lead game designer and creative lead of Train Life, my responsibilities generally include making sure that the design is created for the game and being a lot of that connection between the community and the programmers, and making sure that the new patches and content that we put out is positive for the game and for the overall enjoyment.
Awesome, awesome. It's really great to hear about like producers, designers, programmers that are working for the people, right? Like that's, we're making these games for you guys, right? For the community and your
Exactly.
feedback and everything like that is always helpful.
It seems
Uh,
like a rarity these days.
Yeah, it does vary for sure, but we're happy you're on the good side, right? Let's just say,
Well, I try to be.
yeah. All right, Joey. So I wanted to talk about a little bit of why we're doing this video, right? So we're doing this video because Train Life, a railway simulator, is coming out of early access, and we are releasing 1.0 on August 25th.
Very
Correct?
exciting, yeah.
Very exciting. It's been a long road with content updates,
That's for sure.
patches. I think we did the first like reveal of the game in August of last year. So it's basically a year at this point, right?
Yeah, we've been in early access for
Yeah,
roughly a year,
yeah,
and we've had our ups and we've had our downs.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long road, and we're happy that it's coming to a close. However, that doesn't mean that Train Life as a whole is coming to a close, right? Like this is just the start of the actual game. It doesn't mean that we're not going to be supporting the game anymore. Absolutely, we are. Moving forward, right, with new patches and more content updates and more trains and stuff like that, right? So,
Yeah,
um,
we have to make the determination on what can fit, what's in scale of the budget and what the
right.
community wants for sure. But as you said, this is just the start, and for sure there will be some things that people find on launch that we have to fix, and we will be committed to getting a patch out with those.
Yeah, so it's really awesome to see Train Life. It's come such a long way. Like even just from from my perspective, like from the day one launch of early access of Train Life to the point where it's now. I mean, there's just a plethora of content that's been added, new trains, new locations. The service center has been improved. I wanted to talk a little bit about what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced as a designer, creative lead, right? As you mentioned earlier in the video, that you faced when we were just entering early access.
Well, there certainly have been a lot of challenges.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Picking out some of those, and specifically in terms of design, because I don't want to speak for the rest of the team, of course, but there have been challenges on all fields. For design only, though, marrying the idea of something that's a bit more casual with a train simulator has been really difficult. one of the benefits that games with cars or trucks or anything like that have is that most people know the basics of driving. The majority of people have a driver's license or at least understand cars enough to be able to make them go and probably even drive them in a safe manner. But with trains, not many people know that much about operating trains, and certainly very few of those people probably have engineer license. Uh, so having to make it more casual while still appealing to a wider audience has been a core difficulty. I don't think we've nailed it in every way. That those are lessons we can carry with us forward, and of course, we did try to address some of those after launch. But probably the biggest challenge has just been making a casual train simulator that still has some authenticity to it.
Uh, yeah, so it's yeah, like you said, I would have to like sort of capitalize on that, like on what you said. Not a lot of people have, train driving licenses per se, right?
Yeah.
So making a train simulation game that'll appeal to people that are into simulation games, as well as people that are not maybe even necessarily into simulation games, but making something that is appealing to like the mainstream, let's say, is definitely something that even the most hardened of developers could find trouble with doing, right? So,
Yeah, and
uh,
we wanted to go into the core of, relaxing and just being able to enjoy the driving experience without having to, I don't know, see some weird thing beeping and you don't know which of the 30 buttons you have to press to fix it or something.
right.
So and we simplified a lot of systems, our signs, our signals. We didn't always do this successfully, of course, but I do think that we succeeded in making a more casual train driving experience that allowed people who didn't really know that much about trains to enter into it and enjoy the just the driving and leveling up cities, exploring Europe, things like that.
Yeah, I think Train Life is a really good stepping stone for people getting into simulation games, especially for trains or something like that. Because I think there's like that sort of like that burden or like stereotype of simulation games where it's like, yeah, this is a simulation game where we're trying to get as close to the real thing as possible. So here's like 30 buttons that you have to learn, right?
There do seem
Or
to be those two extremes, where, as you
yeah,
said, you have the trying to be as real as possible. And, I'm not going to bash any of those games, of course, because
yeah,
I really
absolutely.
enjoy some of those. But then there's the other extreme where, it's more of a very light, casual, comedic experience, something wonderful like Goat Simulator or something,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
not much of a simulator, but certainly enjoyable. And there isn't a lot sitting in the middle that, it's taking its topic seriously, but still doing it in a way that can speak to that casual audience or people who just want to sit back and relax on the couch.
Yeah, absolutely. Accessibility is king these days. I mean, if you make the bar too high, then you'll only cater to that like really niche audience of people, like the hardcore simmers that are like looking for that challenge. And in Train Life, we do cater to those people that are looking indeed for a challenge, but also at the same time for people that are looking for a more casual experience. So that's something definitely to remember when talking about Train Life. So. All right, Joey. So I wanted to sort of also talk about like the pipeline, the process that we had for releasing content during early access. During early access, over the course of a year, we've had three major content updates, ranging from adding new ice trains, adding new regions, adding new station gameplay mechanics, and so on and so forth. So I sort of wanted to start off at update 1 and end at what we're going to be releasing for 1.0 at the end of August. Starting at update 1, it looks like we released the new Ice 3 and Ice 4 trains. We added Western Europe, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, and London. I mean, for a first content update, it's a pretty big one, don't you think?
Yeah, it's pretty sizable. I know that the ice trains, the Deutsche Bahn ice trains were, yeah, very, very popular, and they look really beautiful in game. And adding the new region, it's a pretty big region. I always get excited with the new region updates because There's so much more to explore, and you start to see the game's economy start to come together, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our team at Simteract is, I mean, they are rock stars. I mean, they're the regions. They never cease to amaze me. When they add them, and France, Belgium, and Poland in the second update. They're beautiful. They're absolutely amazing. Um, so that was update one. We added new passenger scenarios as well, and as always, bug fixing, optimization, and so on. Right. Um, Moving on to update two. As I mentioned, yeah, new regions. We added Poland. We added the Czech Republic. We added the new Lechner DP 2500 train, as well as an extreme cargo scenario set. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, update 2 is, I mean, I really enjoy all making all the locomotives. Actually, all of the company names and locomotive names are fictional, apart from, the ice trains or the licensed
Right.
trains that we have.
Right.
So it was pretty fun to create those names, and I'm just talking about my own experiences here, but it was kind of fun to make those and to make them seem realistic, and of course having players get their hands on it, test it out, and see the screenshots that they've made was awesome.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
starting to expand on the scenario system, and of course adding yet another region. Um, it's always exciting to have those days.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when Update 2 came out, even with Update 1, there was a lot of people from the community asking, why can't we have the ice trains in the main game? And that's something that, with like a heavy heart, right, we weren't able to add into the main game, but make them a part of the scenarios as well. And this just has something to do with, licensing restrictions and so on. So, guys, we wanted it just as much as you did, but
We still do, and
yeah,
there's I have no foresight on this, but there's always a chance that licenses could be changed if there's enough public interest, or maybe once the licensor, I don't remember the correct term for it, but if they see the final product and maybe they'll expand on it. So it's not completely off the table, but for now, it's just an unfortunate case of the license.
yeah. And with update 2, we also did a signal visualization update, and this was something that was, I remember, like the signaling system and the signal visualization. It was something that was like beat into our heads by the community. Like, you guys need to make this better. You guys need to improve this because it's hard to tell, right? At certain points, I think when it
Yeah.
comes, as far as I remember, when we were talking about the updating the signaling system and the visuals for it, we talked about like changing some of the colors of the lights and what they mean and so on like that. Do you remember anything more about that?
Well, we've certainly faced a lot of compounding issues on the signal system. It's far, far, far from perfect.
Yeah.
Um, the really unfortunate thing is that changing it, I've said this to the community a few times, but it's always worth saying it actually in person, so it doesn't. I'm not just typing it in some lifeless way, but if we had to change it dramatically, which I think it would benefit from doing that, it would affect the entire world, and we'd have to probably relay all of our track again and open ourselves up to a lot of bugs that we might have already fixed. And this is something we just need to learn for the next time, or if there's some massive inflow of cash that could support the development time to do it, it would probably be pretty high on the list of priorities to change, because I do think that it is probably one of the detracting factors for enjoying the signals at the moment. But we did make some really good changes to the visuals, to the notification system for when you're warned of an approaching train, and I think that it is functional right now, even if it could be improved.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just like the little things, like adding the little notification button next to the mini map showing you if the track is occupied or not, right? Like, just like
Definitely, yeah. Yeah.
little quality of life things that make just make playing the game that much more easier. Um,
I can see updates post-release too of us ensuring that it tells you which side of the track it's on. I think that's something we just need to talk to the programmers about more. So, improvements are going to keep coming. Just it's on the priority list, and we just have to work our way down to that after we get through some pretty crucial things first.
yep, absolutely. One thing at a time, I always say. So moving on to the third update. Now this was a big boy. It was just as almost as big as me, I think. But yeah, update 3 was pretty big. And now if I read off the list of things that we added into update 3, so we added new regions, of course, Austria, Alps, Switzerland, Liechtenstein. We added new train customization. Yeah, so around that time, I actually wrote a an April Fool's post when Update 3 came out. Then I added some pretty interesting things that a lot of people believed, like blood splats on the windshield that when you ran over a deer. And I have to admit that I'm not the best Photoshopper, but I think I did a pretty good job of adding some fake blood splats on the windshield.
I think some of the team actually believed it too. If
Oh,
I
really?
remember correctly, I think I had a couple people PMing me and were like, "Wait, are we really gonna add this thing?"
So that means it worked. April
Yeah,
Fools.
well, yeah, we do have pretty similar humor, so
That's
I don't
true.
think that they thought it would be too out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. However, I did our other game designer, he did help me with it. So Mache, shout out to you, bro. You're the best. Thank you for helping me out with that. You know, our forces combined, we just created something
We have a lot of meme
majestic.
forces, yeah.
Yeah, we do, definitely for sure. So yeah, along with the update 3, it came with another station gameplay overhaul, the station stopping minigame. We had a manual cargo taking minigame and scenario implementation in career mode. Now, this sort of streamlined the process of, switching back and forth between the two game modes when it comes to just normal career mode and doing the scenario system, right? So I can imagine this was probably a nightmare to implement
Yeah.
or to add into the build. So what do you think? What was your process on that?
Yeah, this whole update was big, as you said. I mean, we had I really like the cabin customization. And there's possibility I think to do more with cabin customization in the future. But I really like what we did with the dashboard accessories, the expensive pizza with pineapple on it. We shouldn't talk about that. It's very evil. Um, and the station gameplay overhaul was one thing that I was very happy to see implemented. From day one, we knew that there were just big problems with it. And the community agreed, and we agreed even harder, and they agreed. They're like, no, 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 you don't understand. It's really bad. We're like, no, no, really, we understand. So we finally built this new station gameplay, and we were really worried that it might not be received well, but thankfully it was. And the rest of that will be coming with full release. We'll get to that, in a few minutes. But as you said, with putting careers into the main game, putting the scenarios into the career mode was, yeah, it wasn't easy. It was kind of a logistical nightmare. Required a lot of changes to how we did our save system, but the programmers worked their magic on this, and we got it working in the end. So
Yeah,
huge shout out to the programmers as well for this game.
shout out to the
It
programmers.
cannot be understated just how much they worked, and the vacation that they will absolutely be getting after full release.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have our entire team is filled with talented individuals for sure, and it's really awesome to be working with such people. So yeah, shout out to you guys. And I think another big one, another big boy in update 3 was the weather system. And this was long awaited. This was a long awaited
Very,
feature
very much, yeah.
by the community. It's we all know, right? It's not all sunshine and rainbows in the world, right? Sometimes it rains razor blades and depression.
We need to
And
add rainbows to our game.
that would be cool.
I don't think we have rainbows.
I don't think we do have rainbows.
We should get a rainbow.
We should definitely get rainbows. Guys, let us know in the comments of this video if you guys want rainbows in Train Life. Sure. Right
Yeah,
there.
with pots of gold at the end.
And maybe Joey as dressed as a leprechaun.
Oh god. I'll do it.
I do it for the views, okay?
If this video gets, I don't know, what's the normal amount of likes? Like
I don't know.
10,000?
Yeah,
Is 10,000 too much?
that's a lot
That's
for
a lot of
that's a
likes.
lot of likes, yeah, but
If we do it, I will dress up as a leprechaun and we'll do it.
there's no turning back now. This is on video evidence. They will use it against us, Joey.
10,000 likes, and we'll
10,000
do it.
10,000 likes and Joey will dress up as a leprechaun and we'll put him in the game. Uh
What have I done?
what have you done?
What have I done?
Uh, yeah, so update 3, big one, big changes, and I think this was one of the best updates we did so far, right? Like I said,
Yeah.
as time progressed, like it just kept getting better and better. And now it's going to be the bestiest update. The bestest, the bestiest. I don't know. But it's going to be the best one because we're leaving early access, right? Choo choo. We're getting out of early access. All aboard the train. So update 4, we have new scenarios, shunting and towing. There's going to be a new seat and camera options. The GPS system overhaul. Now, this is something that has also been requested by the community since the very, very early stages of early access. And Joey, I know that you have been in discussions with people about the GPS system overhaul for a very long time. And now is your chance to tell them directly, face to face, what is going to happen.
Yeah, we have limited development resources and time, and it was a very careful game of priorities early on. But it was one of the things that we identified along with the community that was just in desperate need of a restructuring and visual overhaul. And when we were developing the station gameplay overhaul, we worked on making this, GPS system a lot more integrated with the station gameplay. So, leading you to tracks, telling you which platform to go to and things like that. And we couldn't get all of this out at once. We couldn't develop it at once. So we did the station gameplay first, and then the second half of that, in my opinion, is the map and GPS overhaul, giving players access to all of that information, a lot more visual clarity and um, just access to a lot of conveniences and quality of life that weren't there in the original map. So, you're going to see just a lot more improvements, better zoom levels, better information on those zoom levels as you go, from zoom in and out, station access information, unlock information. It looks really nice, and I think we're going to have just a little bit of tweaking to do after release with community help, but that should seal the deal at that station gameplay and should provide that full experience that we wanted to provide.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just wanted to mention that by the time you guys are seeing this video, I have already released. I have probably already released a developer blog talking about these changes, like the changes to the map, the changes to the yes, obviously the Orient Express, and some design changes that we are implementing for update 4. So, if you haven't already, the link to the previous the last dev blog that we did isn't going to be linked in the description of this video. So feel free to check that out and see if you haven't played the game or if you're interested about playing the game. You can check that out. So yeah, lots more. I don't know if if it's good to say that we have lots more work to do because we have like a week till the game is released. So like,
I mean, when I think of like lots more work to do, I kind of ignore release,
right,
so to speak. Like, of course, this isn't a super important milestone. I can count on my two hands the number of games I'm going to make in my life.
right.
So this is important to tick one of those down, but we will just continue to be making updates. We've already gone gold, so to speak, which in game dev terms means that you've created the candidate that's going to be there at launch, and there's no time to change that. We've worked
Yep.
on the day one patch, so that's going to be available and fix a lot of things that have been addressed. between gold and, of course, when the public actually has access to it. And then we're just going to keep working from there on fixes, polish, things that couldn't make it in, or just things that the community has talked to us about in between that time as well. So the wheels keep turning essentially.
Yep, absolutely. And just going back to to what I mentioned earlier in the video, this doesn't mean it's the end of the development cycle, right, for the game. It's actually the beginning, the real formal beginning of, bringing the game to fruition, 1.0, and adding to content, DLCs, trains, so
Oh,
on
and
and so
still,
forth.
console releases and such as well.
Console releases as well, yeah. So all of you PS4, are we releasing for PS5? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, it should be for old and new gen
For
consoles.
old and new gen consoles.
And the game is really enjoyable to sit back and play with a controller.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't
yeah.
wait. I've only been sitting back on the controller playing the game like, in front of a PC, but I would want to see how it looks like on that TV right there, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
So definitely something for everyone. And yeah, one final thing, we wanted to remind everyone that throughout the process of the early access for Train Life, all players that received or that played the game in early access are going to get the Orient Express train, which is a very famous train, along with the wagons and all the goodies that come along with it for free on the full launch of the game. So there's going to be an entirely new way to play Train Life, right? With the Orient Express, it's looking pretty freaking sweet, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was
Um,
a lot of work to design.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
It came
sure
off
it
well.
was. I'm sure it was, and we can't wait to see what you guys think of it. Time is ticking. By the time you're seeing this video is probably going to launch as alongside the day one 1.0 release. So we're gonna have this video and patch notes as well. So let us know what you guys think. Uh,
If if this video comes out and you're in the Cologne area for Gamescom, you and I will be there, Mike.
yes, we
So definitely stop by our booth, come say hi to us.
Absolutely, guys. Good thing you sort of segued into that, right? We are going to be at Gamescom this year. We are going to be at Gamescom. So if you're there, if you're watching this video anywhere in the vicinity of Germany, or you're on your way to Gamescom, right? Let us know. Leave a comment. Let us know where you are. I'm gonna be doing my social media things, and you can. I'll let you guys know where we're at. Maybe we'll see each other. We'll do a little high five, and we'll talk about the game. We're gonna be doing some live streams as well at the Nacon booth, and we're going to be doing probably another one of these, Joey, only live. So there is no take backsies. Uh,
Yeah, we're
prepare.
gonna be live there, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be exciting. We're gonna be launching the game there, have a little bit of a celebration.
Yep.
I think we're nearby the Indie
Yeah.
Village area. It's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah. We're probably going to be by the Indie Village, and
So yeah, if you're around, stop by, say hi, take some pictures. Tell us to make really dumb faces for your camera. We'll do it, and we'd love to see you and just chat and say hi.
yeah, let's do it.
We're very friendly. We like memes.
We
And,
promise.
it can be very monotonous standing there in that booth the whole day, so
Yeah,
come give us a little bit of a shake up.
definitely, definitely. Joey, some closing thoughts, my man. Some closing thoughts. Maybe I'll start. You can end the show here. Um, Guys, I have been community managing for Train Life for the last year, and there has been a lot of challenges that I faced with community and some members, and it's all been part of a very amazing process called growth, and I really appreciate every single one of you that took part in early access, and I appreciate all people, all future players for Train Life that are going to be playing the game, and I'm really happy to be part of such a dedicated amount of community members that really love our game. And without you guys, it would have been very difficult to come to the point where we are today. So From me, thank you guys very much.
I can only second what you said about the community, and add on to that that I'm so proud of the Train Life team. Just the blood, sweat, and tears that they've poured into making this have been incredibly inspiring. I really look forward to seeing what we create in the future, and I think that Train Life is a very good game for them to add to their career. Really, this has just been an incredible experience working with all of them. So the future is very bright.
Absolutely. Kudos to our entire team. Shout out to all of our community members. You guys have been great, and we hope you guys will enjoy 1.0 and what Train Life has to hold in the future. On that note, we are nearing the end of the video. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts, comments, concerns about the game up until the release. What you were hoping, what you hoped might have been added, and yeah, let's talk. Joey, thank you so much, man. I really
My
appreciate
pleasure.
you. I really appreciate you coming on. I know we're all pretty busy at this point in time, and I'm happy that you could find time for me.
Thank you for having me. It is tough to find time sometimes, but
Yeah,
it's great to give back to the community. I can only begin to try and do it because they've given us so much.
absolutely. Joey, guys watching, everyone, thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.